salicylate is a chemical compound that's used commonly in muscle rubs such as Bengay. We probably all use Bengay at some point in our lives. However, the way they create synthetic methyl salicylate for one of these rubs is that they'll use some caustic chemicals. They're going to use, for instance, sulfuric acid, which just about every single James Bond villain has used sulfuric acid at one point or another. And also phenols, ethanols, other things that are just not good for us. Now when they do that, they do try and clean those out of it, but there's no way they can get it pure. So when you're using a muscle rub such as Bengay, you're putting caustic acids on your body every single time. But there's an alternative. You can also use wintergreen oil. Now wintergreen oil is actually 95% pure methyl salicylate. Now when you're using Bengay, you get about 30% of the, artificially created synthetic methyl salicylate. When you're using wintergreen, you're using 95% pure, which means you can use a lot less. And it's much more potent, so you're feeling the effects much quicker. I'm John.
I'm Amy, and people normally take NSAIDs for relief, but this takes about 30 minutes to kick in and can cause long-term damage to the digestive system. Because oils are absorbed quickly through the skin at the place of discomfort, the relief comes much more quickly.
Now, one reason for this are cofactors. I told you just a second ago that 95% of wintergreen oil is methyl salicylate. The other 5% are cofactors. Now, these cofactors help to direct where the oil or where the chemical needs to go in your body so it gives you the best benefit. Let me give you an example. Vitamin A. There was a study that was done back in the day on vitamin A. What they found though was that when people were using vitamin A, it lowered the occurrence of lung cancer. So they did a meta-study, which is one of the big studies with a lot of people into it, and they had to actually stop the meta-study in the middle of it. Because they were using a synthetic vitamin A, people were actually having a higher occurrence of lung cancer. So when you have a naturally occurring vitamin A, it helped people. The reason it was helping people is because it was created the way it was meant to be, with all these cofactors that tells the body how to use it, directs it, and puts it in the right way. When you have something that's synthetically created, it's just that compound, and it doesn't have those cofactors that direct it and put it in the right way.
Let's talk about how to use these. It's always good to start with peppermint because it opens up the pathways. Then you can add another oil on top of that to increase its effectiveness. To drive it in deeper, you can use a compress. This can be a warm or cool damp cloth over the oils that have been applied to the affected area. Be sure to use a carrier oil, as that will help drive the oils into deeper. Roller balls are good for quick and easy application.
So you also want to make sure that you're hydrating. When you are not hydrated, it kind of makes everything like raisins, and then it makes your body, it's a lot harder for your body to work, and then it's screaming out. That's where you're getting all that tension from. One thing that I do to hydrate as much as I can so I don't have those problems is I put a lot of essential oil in my water. I'm using a lot of lemon oil, a lot of orange oil, a lot of tangerine oil, a lot of Trementon, because
you
drink water and I eat, right? So, Trementon, all those things, I'm always hydrating, and so drinking water is much easier as I'm using oils in the water that I'm drinking. In addition to that, you also have to make sure you're eliminating. It's important to be eliminating because that's moving the toxins out of your body. A lot of the discomfort that we have, a lot of the tension we get is because our body is filled with toxins. If we're not eliminating, those toxins don't just sit there. The body actually reabsorbs them and passes them through the body again and again and again, and that creates some real problems, so you have to be eliminating. Also, as you are trying to get rid of tension, one of the most common places for tension is along the back. Now, if you have the feeling of a lot of tension on your shoulders or your upper back, that often is correlated with feelings like you have to hold the whole world up. It's all on your back. So apply some oils directly to that. Now, also, one of the biggest problems are tension along your lower back. Now, your lower back is actually correlated with feelings of financial insecurity or insecurity all around. So work on that and use the oils for it as well.
So we'll talk about the different type of oils that can be used to help relieve tension. John here discussed a little bit about wintergreen, and I want to talk about peppermint and muscle mend. Now, peppermint is a great oil to start with, and the reason why is because it can open up your blood vessels, making it more accessible to the other oils to be able to get to your problem areas of your body. Now, Dr. Plant had a great analogy about peppermint, and if someone's an aide on a highway and there's only one road to take, then it can be difficult to get to that person and help that person. If there's a ton of different ways and different roads that are open and available, then that person will be able to be helped easier and more effectively. So that's why we use peppermint. It's a great oil to start with. And then Muscle Men is a great blend. It's a soothing blend, and it has many different oils in there that can actually help relieve tension. And some of the oils that are in there all the oils, is wintergreen, what we talked about, spruce needle, peppermint, helichrysum flower, camphor wood, and balsam fir. Great oils to use for pain.
So other oils that you can use are, for instance, lavender. Lavender is phenomenal as you're taking away that tension. It can be used for a lot of things as well. Lemongrass is great for it. Black pepper oil is great for it. And one of my favorites is frankincense. Now, there's a lesson in oils that's good, better, and best. It may be good to use peppermint on its own. It'd be better to use peppermint and musclemen, and it would be best to try peppermint, musclemen, and then maybe something else, or maybe a technique, maybe to use a compress. But if you're not experimenting and trying to find the ones that work for you, you're never going to find that best. So look for good to get started, push for better, and then really experiment to find that thing that works best for you. Tonight, what we want you to do is we want you to try layering the oils as Amy has taught you to do. Use a peppermint oil and then add a little bit of carrier oil to it so it drives it in deeper, and then add one other oil on top of that. And you can choose what you want that to be, but try that layering technique and you're going to see that you're really going to like it.
I'll definitely try that tonight.
Right on.
Okay. Well, and tomorrow, moody doesn't quite cover it. Volatile would better describe the way some of us feel the week before our period. I'm considering starting a support group for women of all ages and who suffer the discomfort associated with hormonal fluctuations. Will you be there to support us?
I'll be there to support you. I've got 7 redheaded sisters, so I'll be there.
Awesome. Okay, see you then.
Being smartest is truly the best. With our new AGX gene expression technology, we assembled the single largest database on essential oils ever. It took 6 PhDs and one of MIT's supercomputers to do it. This library contains over 2 billion points of information. It can also beat you in chess.
Smarter health, brighter future.